On his very worst day, John Rustad would be a far better premier than David Eby on his very best day.
Major upheaval in BC politics. BC United leader Kevin Falcon does an about-face and throws his support behind the BC Conservatives. An historic move that Falcon says is needed to defeat the NDP in October. But many in his party feel blindsided. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news that dramatically changes the race to form BC's next government. After spiraling in the polls, the BC United Party has imploded. Kevin Falcon has announced the party will not run candidates in this election. Falcon himself is dropping out. CTV's Rob Buffum is live in Victoria. Rob, this is a bombshell announcement that took many within the party by surprise.
It sure did, mi-jung. This is definitely a seismic shift in BC politics, days after Kevin Falcon has been calling John Rustad and his party a party of wackos and conspiracy theorists. He has now turned around, suspended his campaign, and is encouraging voters to vote for Rustad's party. A bombshell announcement after months of rumors about backroom deals between BC's two right-of-centre parties.
I will be withdrawing our candidate nominations and in cooperation with John Rustad.
Following secret talks late last night, BC United leader Kevin Falcon, flanked by BC Conservatives John Rustad, suspending his party's campaign so its candidates can run for the Conservatives, a party he now endorses.
We will work together to assemble the best possible team of MLAs and candidates that can serve the best interests of British Columbians.
It's not an easy thing to be able to do. The United Party certainly has had 50 candidates.
With polls consistently showing Falcon's party well behind the surging Conservatives, languishing in third or fourth, the seismic shift to BC's political landscape aimed at unifying right-of-centre voters in an effort to knock off the governing NDP.
That we not give the NDP one more day in power than they absolutely have to have.
To make sure that we put the best field forward that we can to bring an end to the destructive policies of David Eby and David Eby's government.
Falcon kicked Rustad out of BC United, formerly the BC Liberals, for views on climate change. BC United and Falcon have called various current Conservative candidates conspiracy theorists and too extreme. Today, he tried to soften those blows.
John acknowledged that their vetting process isn't quite as rigorous as ours is. Politics, especially when you're fighting each other, this fight would have continued right into the campaign.
The Conservatives have nominated 84 of a full slate of 93 candidates. They say they'll revisit the vetting process. Neither man would say whether existing Conservative candidates would be dumped to make way for incumbent BC United candidates.
We plan to work together to go through a process. Our intention is to field the best candidates we can, make sure that we got the best team possible.
With less than 2 months before voters cast their ballots, two former foes united with a stunning announcement prove the truth of the old adage, there's never a dull moment in BC politics. There have been lots of rumors about which candidates will be moving over, which incumbents, people like Peter Millibar or Ian Patton. None of them have yet to confirm that on the record. I can tell you that the Director of Communications for Kevin Falcon sent me a note just recently saying that caucus staff were finding out throughout the day at the same time that media were, so this took a lot of people by surprise.
So, Rob, let's follow the money here. What about the money donated to the BC United Party? What happens with that?
Well, that is a good question, and it's one that Kevin Falcon was asked today. He said that that money will not be going to the BC Conservatives. Somebody pointed out folks who donated that money may not have had that intention. He said that money will be used for paying staff and paying off vendors, companies that they may owe money to, and again, paying off salaries and things like that, but it will not be forwarded to the BC Conservatives. There's election laws that do govern that. Mi-jung.
Yeah, we'll see a lot more developments in the days to come. Thank you, Rob. Rob Buffum reporting live tonight from Victoria.